All right, thank you for staying in the State of the Nation and discussing matters, politics and everything in between. They want to get into two specific issues, political realignments and the impact of the U.S. Fund's stop work order. And my guests are still with me here, Honorable Hilary Sigei, Senator for Bomet, Dr. Kuro Court, Party Leader, Third Way Alliance, and Charles Owino, Head of the National Communications Center. And Dr. Kuro, I'll come to you on this. In as much as we were talking about the issues that are still facing the nation, as we speak, there's already conversations about 2027. In fact, this is what the president himself said, and other leaders also spoke about the re-election of 2027. Listen to this.
Saa zingine nyinyi mnatishwa, sijui one term, sijui how many terms, sijui nini. That is not my concern. 2027, kwani 2027 itakuwa uchaguzi tofauti kuliko ile yote tumefanya? Kwani iko shida gani? Watu watulize boli, mambo ya 2027 tutakutana 2027. Mimi nimekuwa mjumbe miaka 15. Mimi nimekuwa naibu ya rais miaka 10. Ndio huyu mimi ni rais. Miaka itakuwa 5. Sasa mtu atanitisha na kitu gani? Ati nisikue nini? What is it that I have not become? Tunaelewana? So, hii mambo yako sijui nini, na kwanza hata shida ya wale wananitisha ni mtu ambaye hajawahi kuwa rais, ajui hata vile ya kukuwa rais inakuanga namna gani. Sasa wewe
Dr. Kuru?
Yeah, you can clearly see there that the arrogance with which the president and the contempt he holds Kenyans for. Because first of all, yes, he's been a MP for 15 years, deputy president 10 years. But what he's also not telling Kenyans is that during that time of my leadership, I've been associated with many scandals as a leader. So he should probably also tell Kenyans, yes, I've been around, but this is also the negative image of me. You know, for example, what can you say is transformational about President William Ruto that Kenyans today can actually feel that because of this person's leadership for 15 years, for 10 years as a deputy president, for now maybe 3 years as a president, that we have actually felt is leadership that has transformed this country, that has moved this country forward. But it's also true, we can say, that he's the most ridiculed president, not just in Kenya. Yeah, just go to social media. He's the most probably hated president. He will not accept that. But see, for some of us who are neutral observers and neutral critics, we will call out this. I know people in government will not accept it. They will think that we hate we don't hate the president. You know, it was the decision of Kenyans. But this chest stamping and saying that, 2027. First of all, let me demystify this issue of the term limits. You are elected for a first term of 5 years, constitutionally. And let me not also now educate Owino, because he was trying to educate me on the shift share. Your term is 5 years. If you convince Kenyans that you are re-electable, then you have another term. The only 2 terms you can only serve 2 terms of 5 years each, maximum of 10. But if you see the choreography today, it's like, oh, I have 10 years, 2 terms. That's a lie. Yeah? The truth is that you can only serve for a first term of 5 years. Then once you convince us, you have actually achieved some of the things that you promised, including, for example, the beauty of the language and the explanation that Owino is saying. And he's admitting that 3 years later, down the line, that we are still take off on these issues of health, on these issues of affordable housing. He's even indicting Sigei here, saying that Sigei is sleeping in parliament because Sigei has not approved this so-called 58 billion they are asking for. And what are you waiting for? After all, the president now controls both houses of parliament. The first thing that he did, because Azimio la Umoja had the majority in the National Assembly. But what did the president do? To extend the presidency into the Legislative Assembly, he actually bought some of the people from Azimio, and that's how he acquired the majority. So they go into slumberland 3 years later on. Now, he's coming here to tell us, we are, parliamentarians are yet to approve this money.
Not say that.
No, that's what you said. The money has not been.
Need to.
Charles, you said the money has not been allocated. Yeah. And now you see a president who is not even pushing a parliament that he controls to say, I want money in the Shah, Shiv, whatever funds, all those funds that Rosalie speaks of.
Yeah.
Because we know this government is synonymous with we shall do this, we shall do that, we shall do that. Now it has shifted.
Yeah.
It's about 2027. But if you ask Kenyans on the ground, go to the streets, Trevor, and I challenge you, and I even challenge Charles here, go to the streets of Nairobi today. Don't even need to go to Turkana or Siaya or Bomet. Yeah? Ask Kenyans, what is your feel about this government today? You'll be shocked at the results.
You have admitted here before that you voted for the president.
Yes, I did.
Would you give him a second chance in 2027?
No, never. Because you see, let me tell you this. I used a metaphor in 2022 that you are these Kenyans in a pool full of crocodiles and hippos. Either way, you'll be eaten. I think it was a choice about how do I want to be eaten. And in any case, I'm not being vindicated.
And now you want to change that?
Whether I voted for Raila or Ruto or not is one and the same thing. It's like picking a coin. A coin has two heads.
Okay.
Yes. So, and by the way, I don't regret voting for William Ruto. And I've said this many times.
Yeah.
It is my constitutional right to cast my vote. A lot of people who stayed away from voting have no business now criticizing this government. Because I criticize this government because I voted for, I didn't vote for the government, I voted for the president. Yeah. Okay? Wherever he put in government, it was his choice. But if the performance of that government is not meeting the expectations of the people of Kenya, I think it's responsible for any Kenyan to call out the government. Okay. And I think the Sigeis and the Charles should not take this personal.
Okay. Sige?
It is the last question that you asked Senior Ekuru here about whether or not he regrets having voted for the president.
I don't regret.
And he's indeed confirmed. He doesn't regret the fact that he voted for this president. Yeah. And indeed, he made that choice by virtue, I believe, of what he believed then to be a choice which is the right choice to do. I'm happy that he's saying so. Fortunately, he was a candidate previously. He runs another political party, a political outfit, which, of course, unfortunately did not transition to the ballot to the presidency and all that. So he's a politician for whatever description I can call. And he will camouflage to a situation like now. Because right now, it is fashionable to ridicule the president. It is fashionable to ridicule the government. And we are lucky. Kenya is one nation that is a good country. We enjoy the freedom of speech. We enjoy the freedom of expression. And that is what is enshrined in our constitution. Therefore, it's the easiest thing to do. Ridicule him by all these projects we are calling, they have not been done, they are still ongoing, this was a promise, and it's equally fashionable to say it's a lie. But when we actually go to the ground, ukweli ni kwamba, we are looking at a president who has told Kenyans that, look guys, I will make decisions which are very unpopular, and we must bite the bullet. However painful sometimes some of these decisions are, we have got to do it if we are aimed at changing Kenya and changing the way we do things. Most of these things are seen by Kenyans as very unpopular because they are indeed not popular for purposes of a comfort zone when people do not want to change. Okay. We have been told about Shah, which I'm happy at least that we know here has taken, my friend Ekuru, step by step. We passed that law in Parliament. It would not have been possible to do it. Okay. Remember, we had Ngilu, then Cabinet Secretary or Minister then, trying to make the best of that moment to change NHIF. It didn't happen. Uhuru, same thing. It is William Ruto who's come in and has said, I promised Kenyans I am going to implement. Okay. Admittedly, we still have got bottlenecks, which is just like everything else. A number of these things, Trevor, were promises made by the first government, the second government, the third, and the fourth. Here we are. And that is why, as I've said, it's very popular to just ridicule the government. And he has said, by the way, I don't need to talk about a second term. Let me deliver on the promises we've made on this term. Palembele, we will deal with it. And that's exactly what he's saying also in that when he was addressing the people from northern Kenya. Remember, it's President William Ruto who has gone to spend a night after Moi in Mandera. The rest of the presidents have not gone. So he's advancing. So is that an achievement? He's advancing. Of course it is. He's advancing the agenda of Kenya Kwanza, of inclusivity. All Kenyans are equal. It doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter whether you voted for this government or not. Yesterday, my colleague, Senator Roba, indeed told the president, we gave you 2%. But here you are. You've given us these particular projects. You have come and you've told Kenyans, we want to be united. He has, he did made a resolution, a proclamation about the vetting process on the registration of people from that region, the northern region, and the rest of the parts of Kenya, in terms of trying to show them that we want to build a united Kenya, and every region matters. It doesn't matter whether you are from the mountain, or from Luo Nyanza, or from Rift Valley. You are Kenya, you are part of this government, you must be felt, and you are important, and you matter in the decisions that we are making.
All right, Charles, you asked Kuru to go back to Turkana and sensitize the people there on Shah. When you go back to Nyanza, do you get a feel that the region will rally behind the president come 2027?
Before I come to that, he talked about the statement that the president made about the fact that he's in parliament for 15 years, he's been a deputy president for 10 years, and now president for 5 years. I think in his statement, I didn't see the president asking for a second term. He has just said, stop distracting me from delivering on my manifesto. Let me do my work. After 5 years, wanaume wakutane omundo omundo. Alafu Kenyans will decide on what would be done. So if Okuro, you are going to be a presidential candidate, they know you and I, we may be candidates in 2032, and we may come up even with more radical changes.
Why not 2027?
No, 2027, I'll be supporting Ruto for the second term. So at that time, you and I, we can come up even with more radical changes. And Ekuro, housing, affordable housing is not about housing. It's not about availability of houses. It's about jobs and value chain. I'll take you through that again, because you know my duty is to deposit, and advise. So I want you to understand. But after this, also
can you also explain the word affordable?
Yeah, I will explain.
Yeah, explain it in plain English.
I explain it now.
In plain English, affordable and who?
Can I explain it now? I give you an example.
Go ahead.
My background is police, and you know policemen earn very little salary.
Yes.
Not the large money you have earned in your life when you have worked in public service. I know in public service, where you sat is where people earn $1 million plus. This is police.
The good Lord has heard your prayer, Charles.
So, what's happening is that today we have houses. When you go to Ngara area and so on, we have houses which in the market would be 12 million. About 3 bedrooms houses. You can get them. A number of my colleagues in police, including constables, can afford them at 3 million. And that is now the difference, because land is from government. Much of the money is money that people have contributed. And I can tell you, as a policeman, if you look at what is taken, let's say 1,500 a month, in a year, that translates to about 18,000. In 10 years, that is 180,000. In 20 years, it's about 360,000. We can't afford a house with that kind of money. But through affordable housing program, my colleagues are affording houses. So that is one example I can give you, and they can attest to that.
So even 20 years, even 20 years, all you can contribute is 360,000, as you say, yeah?
Yes.
And the house costs you 3 million?
Yes.
Okay, how is that affordable?
It's affordable.
How will they pay?
The question, I'll explain to you how they'll pay.
Yes.
they can afford a loan for 3 million. 3 million, it doesn't matter how long it will take them to pay.
A loan from who? From the bank or from?
Even from the police circle.
Okay.
You have the most vibrant circle.
Yeah.
But 3 million vis-a-vis 12 million market price. Which one can they afford? The market price for a 3-bedroom is 12 million in Ngara. The affordable housing, it is 3 million. And I can attest to you, they are taking loans from the circle and they are paying.
It's okay.
Yes. That is what makes it affordable.
You can also direct
Wait.
Charles is still on the floor.
Charles is still on the floor.
Yes.
But he's talking about a salaried employee. Okay? I want you to go to Kibera, Madare, Kawangware, those informal sectors, because this affordable housing...
That one I want to explain to you.
You will.
No, leave it there.
Allow me to...
No.
Let me put the question.
No,
Let me put the question.
No, leave it there. You've talked about Kibera. Currently, government is doing houses in Mukuru. Those houses, these people are paying 3,000 currently. The houses which are done in Mukuru, government is going to allocate it to the Mukuru people at the same rent of 3,000. They were staying Vitongoji Duni, no toilet, nothing. They are going to get houses, clean environment, places they can sleep, and they are going to pay the same amount, 3,000 shillings. Challenge me more further, unless you are not a Kenyan.
Listen.
Anyway, let me now answer my question. Let me answer my question.
I know you're running away from it, but it's okay.
No, you can't beat me.
I will.
Hata ukipanda mlima.
I will.
There you won't beat me.
Let's
go to Siaya.
Trevor.
He asked me about Nyanza.
Trevor, let's hold this show in Mukuru kwa Jenga or in the slums of Kibera.
You see,
and I want Charles to explain that, because it's about income for you to be able to afford. So let's not,
excuse me,
let's not be rosy about...
Okuru, I'm not rosy. I'm factual, I'm a Kenyan, and you'll be disapproved. By the time we reach 2027, you'll be greeting me. Anyway,
before 2027,
it's okay,
Kenyans
fine.
live now.
Okay. Yes, but the houses are under construction. See, ati tunaongea tu, the houses are under construction.
Come back to the president's statement, yes.
You are talking about...
people of Nyanza supporting the president come 2027. It's a conversation that is being had, whether we try to bury our heads in the sand. It is a conversation that is out.
Yes, the people of Nyanza will support the president. And I know many people are saying that if Raila Odinga does not make it in the AU, there are a group of people who are waiting to pick him and make him another cartoon of a presidential candidate, the way they have done before, to meet their interest. This time, no way.
Are you just calling Jacom cartoon?
No, you want to make him a cartoon. You want to make him a cartoon. That's what you have always done. To lie to Jacom every time that, oh, you are the best. But when it comes to votes, nothing comes up. He lost to Uhuru twice. He's lost to... The only time Jacom won was...
207. 207.
207, when he beat Kibaki. And this other time he has lost. So what I'm saying is...
For the first time you have spoken some truth, Charles.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is simple. Not for the first time. I always speak the truth. How can you be my friend? I don't speak the truth. What I'm saying is, Jacom is 80 years old. Yeah. Jacom has done his best. He's the only second prime minister of this country. And he has achieved. I don't think becoming a president would make a major difference for him. He's 80 years. He should be left to be peaceful. So me, what I would say is that I want to believe that my people and my brothers Turkana and Tesos, we the Nilots, you saw the swag the president had, the one you are trying to blame him on. No, he's just a Nilot, you know. A Nilot will but you know, okay, but why say? No. Even him, look at him. He's a smart Turkana. You see, the president is just a Nilot like you and I.
No, why don't we just say he's a Kenyan?
No, he's a Nilot with an interesting swag. Yeah. He's told you, I've been there, I've been president for 10 years, I've been MP for 15 years, I've been deputy president for 10 years. And now I'm president. Natafuta nini, second term ya nini. You can choose to give me or not. That is just being nilotic. Okay. That is just a swag.
Okay.
which is normal,
All right.
which Ekuro has.
Yeah.
So
I have,
now-
unfortunately, Senate also has.
So now,
I want to talk about the
Charles is now isolating.
Yes.
Charles is now
No,
isolating
I'm not-
other Kenyans, including the Bantus, the
I've
Bushites.
never-
So he's talking about
Excuse me.
Nilos.
Excuse me. Charity begins at home.
Okay.
Isn't it?
Yes.
We must start from somewhere.
I want to talk
the
about
people-
this Haiti mission.
It's okay,
but
fine.
Sigei, there's something
Yes.
I also want you to respond to. In fact, let's bring up what the former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua said in terms